Hi, welcome to Sell It, Sister. This is episode number 2, and we are shooting on location today from Omahome's
There you go.
first flip. We're here with Carri Owens, Megan Bengtson, and myself, Molly Amick, and we have 2 guests today, Omahome, the Owens, and Carri Owens Real Estate Group.
She'll get it by the end of the episode.
Sorry about
folks.
that, ladies. And Aaron Hochstein with High Rock Design, Build, and Remodel. First, I want to congratulate Omahome, the Carri Owens Real Estate Group, on their first flip.
Cheers.
Yes, cheers! These ladies had a goal this year to complete 2 flip houses. This is their first one. We're on location in the historic Dundee neighborhood, which is awesome. This place is already super cute, and this is going to be an experience for all of us watching them. Today's topic is the investment market, and I would love to hear your ladies' feelings on this. I rep a lot of investors, and this is a really tough market for investors right now.
So I think this is super exciting as it's Lauren and Carri's kind of first adventure into the flipping world, and I think to kind of get things started, kind of give us a little bit of your vision, your ideas of what you're going to do with this house.
Perfect. Thanks, ladies. Excited to be here with you. We've had goals. Lauren and I have been a team together since 2019. She's my daughter, by the way. I know you thought younger sister, but I had read a book years ago, and I have a bad memory, but it said to achieve independent wealth, you need 3 sources of income. So obviously, I got my gig with real estate, selling houses, killing it there. But to supplement that, we've been talking about getting into the investment market. There's 2 kinds of investment market. That would be the rental market, where you buy and hold, or you buy cheap, renovate, flip, and sell high. And that's our goal to do this year. Our goal we set in January was to do 2, so this is our first one. When we started, Lauren, talk about what we actually started looking for.
We started looking for properties under $100,000, and knowing the real estate market in Omaha right now, homes under $100,000 are extremely difficult to come by, in a very competitive market, not only for first-time home buyers, but fellow investment property seekers. So our budget quickly increased to be able to get exactly what we wanted in an area that we wanted, and we found a pretty special place.
Were you ladies specifically looking kind of in the Dundee area, or were you like open to whatever?
No. We put 2 bids on houses this year, one in Bellevue, which never was in our target range, but we saw the value there. We got outbid on that one. And then another one in Bengtson, and by the time I found out about it, got stuff together, it was already gone.
Okay.
This just kind of fell into our lap. Again, it goes back to working your sphere of influence, how Lauren and I work our business. We got this lead from a past client, told her sister about us. The owner of this home had lived here 42 years. And unfortunately, Mr. Seller had passed away a couple years ago, and Mrs. Seller was no longer in health to live in a 2-story. So we got this house before it hit the market. When we do the tour today, you'll notice there's some stuff around. We bought it as is, where is, to make it easy for the seller.
But you know what? That's a lot of what you got to do.
Exactly.
And how can we make it easy?
Yeah.
And what's the way to make it advantageous to make it work for both parties?
Right.
I think one of the important things to note about flipping houses right now is that this is a really tough market for investors. You really need to know somebody, you need to have a good working relationship with your agent, and they need to be hustlers to get in there, because this market, the inventory is low. You've got to be financially set and ready to go, and be ready just to get in there and find that property so that you can really make some money on it. Megan, do you want to introduce our guest with
Yes.
High Rock?
Yes, so let me introduce to you my very handsome and talented husband, Aaron
Thank you.
Hochstein. Yes, he is the owner of High Rock Design, Build, Remodels. So we thought we would bring him along today as kind of a fun way to toss around some, what's the construction side of of doing flips, and you definitely work much more kind of the higher end remodeling side of things. So, kind of stepping back and, trying to do the very affordable route is, sometimes you've got to retrain your brain a little bit. But again, it's very good to have, a person who's well educated in the construction world to kind of bounce ideas off of. So, Carri, why don't you give us kind of a quick little brief tour of maybe what you're looking for? And Aaron, love to potentially get some of your thoughts, ideas of, when Carri and Lauren are kind of telling you what we're going to do, of just
Absolutely.
kind of take it from there.
All right, we're going to take a tour. We're currently in the dining room, which is now going to become an extra large kitchen. So let's take a tour into what is the kitchen right now. Lauren, you want to lead the way with your champagne?
So this is the kitchen space. As you can see, somewhat outdated. As we bought the property as is, so a lot of owned items left behind. Perks of buying a flip sometimes is you get to do the clear out. So old, dated cabinets, dated appliances. This will kind of be a refreshed room, and we're going to expand this into what is the existing dining room. Like we mentioned before, kind of making it a dual use space, more open concept for kind of the modern design that people will find right now.
In one ways we're going to make it our own is we are actually going to open the wall here between the kitchen and dining room. So take it out. In a dream world, we'd put in a gorgeous island, but because of space and to get the maximum amount of storage in our kitchen, we're just going to do a peninsula. So we're not going to have to move the plumbing, which is going to save us time and money. Don't you agree, Aaron, on moving plumbing?
Definitely agree.
Perfect. All right, now our next big project's going to be on the second story, so let's take a walk up the stairs.
Walk into the master bedroom, you can see this is a huge master bedroom space. I mean, homes today of this size and this square footage, you will not find a master bedroom this big. Fireplace included, amazing. All fireplaces right now are wood-burning fireplaces, but for this theme of this room, we're gonna completely transform the space. Over on the south wall here, we're gonna take...
Lauren and I are going to be the wall that we're going to install.
This will be a new wall.
Right?
We're gonna add a beautiful walk-in closet, master bedroom, have a master bathroom. Oh my gosh.
We're in the bedroom. We're going to add a bathroom.
We're gonna add a bathroom, shower, vanity, all that good stuff to really just kind of make this a master suite.
And again, we're using our space wisely because this wall right here on the west side is connected to the current bathroom. So we're just going to tap in exactly, I don't know what that means, but that's our goal, to tap into the plumbing. So, it's our first time. We're going to learn a lot. You guys are going to be along this journey, and we're going to try to share some exciting news when exciting things happen, and when things pop up that we didn't expect, we're going to share those too so we can all learn. So now let's go down and meet back up with the girls, and we're going to talk about the investment side of buy and hold. Now we're back down in the dining room. So Aaron, what do you think about what we showed you?
I love everything you guys are talking about.
Awesome.
Everything you're talking about is low dollar yet high impact. Like removing the wall in the kitchen, which is right here.
Yeah.
Definitely opens it up. That's exactly what buyers are looking for. Even upstairs, the upstairs bathroom. As large as that space is, in this area, buyers definitely want a separate master bathroom. Mm-hmm. It's going to be relatively easy, depending on
I like that one.
There are going to be some things to be looking at with the plumbing side of things, mm-hmm. on how many fixtures you can attach to that.
Okay.
But that's all things that
a plumber can help us with.
A plumber can help you with.
Yeah.
Aaron, what do you think about return on investment as far as flipping houses go? Kitchen, baths, we all know that paint, red is not necessarily an aesthetically pleasing color for buyers. Everybody loves the blacks and grays right now. But tell me about return on investment for say a bathroom. I know this house currently has
1.5.
1.5.
A scary half in the basement.
and there's not one on the main floor.
Correct.
So talk to us about return on investment for bathrooms.
Obviously, the more bathrooms you can have, the better. The master,
Right.
usually the master suite has its own bathroom, so adding one of those, definitely very important. As far as the hall bath goes, you guys talk about making
Right.
nice improvements.
If the budget
That one-
allows, we're going to improve the hall bath. We're improving the hall bath. I'm sorry. We contemplated adding a half bath to this main level. We're just going to have to see how it goes.
I feel like that is a little bit of know your age of your house.
Right.
And so I feel like with the age of this house, I mean, would it be nice to have a half bath?
Right.
Yes, but are you going to awkwardly shove it in somewhere?
Right,
So is
right.
it not going to be so good? And truly going from ground up to get plumbing to where, because I mean, you're not going to put the bathroom right next to the kitchen
No.
where the plumbing's easily accessible. So
Right.
it's just, when you're looking at, flipping a house, maybe that's not the best, bang for your
Right,
buck.
right.
If you're going to live here, then,
Yeah,
you might want to think about that investment.
Right.
But, again, for this age of house, I don't think buyers are saying there's no main floor bath, it's
Right,
completely
we're not-
off the table.
right, we're not
Otherwise,
gonna
they're going
look
to be
at-
looking somewhere else.
Right.
And this definitely is not a buy and hold house for anybody.
No,
This is
no.
a gorgeous, probably at least 100-year-old house
Right.
that, a primary buyer is going to want to buy and raise their kids in.
Correct.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
correct.
neighborhood is lovely and,
Right.
it's probably is it a 4-bedroom house?
3.
It's a 3-bedroom.
Right.
and-
But we got the Master's 26 by 14,
Yeah,
which
it's
in
huge.
1919, who had that?
Yeah.
So, I feel we're ahead. It's charming, but it's just, to push our price point up, it seems that houses in the neighborhood that have the 4 bathrooms sell $375 to $425.
Yep.
So it's just going to be a matter of finding the space and making it happen. But I think adding that master, we're going to attract so much larger buyer pool.
Yep.
That is going to be a win.
Erin, what other thoughts did you have during that little tour?
You're just making all the right improvements in the right areas.
Thank you.
The
I appreciate
kitchens
that.
and the bathrooms sell the houses. Like anyone can come in here and put some
Do some
new-
paint.
New paint.
New
Yeah.
paint
New light
on the
fixture,
walls.
yeah.
And
Switch out appliances.
same thing with all the other rooms on the main floor. You also have the wood floors. Whether you like this color, they can be sanded, go lighter. They can also get sanded down, restained, and go darker. So
Right.
that's very versatile there. Other easy improvements, paint. That's kind of the running joke on flippers is new paint, new shrubs, put it back on the market. And because those things, you're improving the front of the house, the curb appeal of the house. You're
Right.
also improving. Maybe not everybody enjoys the red paint.
Right.
Um,
If you owned a house in 1992, you had a red room.
Well, yeah, very much the Pottery Barn room. So,
Other expensive costs.
You do too.
yeah.
Some of the more expensive costs would be like foundation issues, needing a roof replaced, if your furnace and air conditioner are broke. That being said, there's also some opportunities there. If you can lump that into the kind of the improvements,
Right.
You may be able to buy that house for that much less.
Right.
If it needs a new roof, that's going to turn away a lot of buyers.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So it's just like knowing the improvements that need to be made
Yep.
and what those are going to cost. And
Yeah.
you've been in the real estate market for a while, so
Yeah.
you've dealt with roof issues, furnace and air conditioners, all that stuff.
Right.
So it's just a matter of having knowledge in those areas, knowing what those things are going to cost, and just kind of planning accordingly.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
then hopefully there's still enough meat left on the bone where you guys can take a nice vacation.
And definitely make it
We
worth your
totally
time.
appreciate you giving us a stamp on approval because we definitely respect your opinion and glad you came out to see it today. Now Megan's going to talk about the other kind of investing.
Well, yeah, so it's kind of one of those things, to flip or not to flip. So it's like, do you, flip it and try to make a good return on your investment, or do you buy and hold and do the rental part? So with Aaron and I's skill set, we've done both. And I would say, so just a little bit of history of us, the first investment property that you would call it was a flip house that we bought. It was out west, and I would say at the end of the day, it was a bit of a flop for us. So we, even though knowing the market, having his skill set, things like that, I think what we got caught up on was over improving and buying too nice of materials, saying that's what I want, and it's just like needing to be able to step back from that And everyone goes in and says, well, we'll just do really, really nice countertops. But then it turns into, we'll do nice countertops, nice tile backsplash, nice floors, nice appliances. And you're like, okay, I just blew the budget.
Right.
So, I mean, we came out fine on it. We should have come out a whole lot better on it.
Agreed.
And then so we've also bought a couple of rental homes. And again, all of them have just kind of fell into our laps a little bit of just being able to know someone through either one of our spheres of they're looking to, need to sell, and we have the opportunity to be able to do it. And so with that, we've also created our own LLC, and we are tied with a commercial banker as well. So if an opportunity comes up right away, we would be able to pull the trigger immediately, and we have everything set in place. So I think that's another kind of good thing to kind of tell the listener audience out there.
Great.
Is you need to make sure you have those things set in place, because otherwise you're never going to be able to get your foot in the door.
And we're going to talk about the financing piece next week. We actually have a guest lender lined up for our next episode. Now, my experience is kind of one and the same. So I actually bought a property which needed a lot of work. I had the intention of renting it, but it was only a partially finished flip. So I ended up actually really upside down on the thing. So
Don't tell us the war story.
I ended up putting a lot of work into the home. Doors, trim, flooring, carpets, beam, and then decided to keep it, rent it, and the rental market is phenomenal, as everybody knows. Rents are high, inventory's low, so the rental market is great for buy and hold. But of course, do you want to be a landlord?
Yeah,
Right.
There's a lot of risk that goes into that as well.
There's not that many property management companies around, and the second I turned landlord, every appliance in the house, even though it was new, broke. I had a pipe burst this winter, so I ended up flipping the house, buying hold, and then selling it all within the same year. And needless to say, I didn't pay one capital gain because I didn't make one dime.
But hey, you walked away unscarred.
Lots of lessons learned, but I think one of the important things about flipping, and everybody who signs up for this game, has a plan in mind. They're either going to hire a bunch of contractors because they know people, they've got contractors in the house, or they're going to do a lot of sweat equity. And I'll tell you, there's no other way to do it because there is very few contract laborers in town. You really have to be willing to put in the sweat equity yourself, or you really are just not going to make a lot of money on a flip house right now. Do you have thoughts about that?
I do a little bit, and we've kind of talked about this as well. And so, you've got to know your skill set level.
Right.
So it's just kind of one of those things. Don't overestimate your ability to do something. One interesting thing we were kind of talking about last night. Like when you go into a remodel or even a flip, kind of what's your favorite thing, or what are some of the things that you're looking for? You mentioned you like a house that really is more untouched, and why is that?
So when we're dealing with the high-end remodel market, there's a lot of District 66 houses, and there's a handful of them. There's not many out there, but there's a handful left that have remained untouched. We're talking original bathrooms, original kitchens, all of that. Those are very easy houses for us to work on because we know it hasn't been remodeled 4 times. When it's been remodeled 4 times, it's where did the previous contractors go in and try to cut corners? Were
they skilled enough to do it?
Right.
Were they skilled enough to do it? We walk in and start removing drywall and notice that they started splicing together electrical that's buried behind the drywall. Right. There's plumbing issues, there's just floor joists that are obviously need the strength, and there's a bunch of holes drilled through them, and it's that's where we walk in and realize we're gonna have to do way more work here than we originally thought.
Right.
We always catch that on our demo walkthrough, but it's one of those things that we don't have the ability to look through drywall, and it's one of those things that can add
nor do home inspectors if you actually are able to get a home inspection on the property as well. So they're not going to dig into walls and things like that. So, I think it's like, make sure you've got a clean, clear idea of what you want to do. Have a set budget, but you better have a set budget as well for unknowns.
Yes.
The older the houses get, the more we deal with like cast iron plumbing for like the drain lines.
Mm-hmm.
Those life expectancies, depending on the age of the house, is something to look at. It's something like run a camera down the drain. Most places will do that for $100, $200. Knowing if you're going to have to replace the drain line from the house to the city is probably tens of thousands of dollars in most situations.
Right.
So running a $100 to $200 camera down the drain is money well spent.
Yeah.
So just a lot of those things.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to know who you're working with as a contractor as well. So sometimes the lowest bid may not always be your best bid.
Right.
Ask for a referral.
Yes.
Ask somebody trusted. Ask a realtor friend.
Yeah.
Call.
Yeah.
Call the brokerage if you don't know somebody.
I would also say don't pay the contractor 100% or don't pay them in full until their work is 100% done.
Correct.
We've all seen those
Yeah.
Mike at nights or
Exactly.
whatever, those
I
horror
paid
stories.
it up front because the materials, and
Yep.
then they never came, and
Yep.
never got anything. So yes,
Yeah.
it's definitely a learning curve.
Yeah. And so, Erin, another thing I want to ask. So, when you're going into home, what are some, like, both positives and negatives? I mean, we've kind of already talked about the negatives a little bit, where you're looking at foundation, roof, like some of those bigger ticket items. But as, when you go into these older homes, things like that, like, what are you looking for even on the positive side? Because these can be very, very exciting.
Like this house, it has larger baseboards, it has larger casing. This crown molding in here is very large. They're not doing that in a lot of new construction houses unless you're over that $1 million price point.
Correct.
So you're getting a lot of that charm.
Right.
So there's just a lot of those things. It is the Dundee area, so you're getting that. People do want to see that. If they're shopping in this area, they like the crown molding. So it's
Right.
not always
And they like the
go
wood
in-
floors. They don't want, the vinyl plank flooring. They want the real actual oak that
Yep.
you can lighten, you can dark, you can refinish X number of times.
Don't
Yep.
go in the
So it's-
basement.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there are different buyers from the high-end remodels. I would say similar buyers are looking Dundee and District 66. But there are buyers, and we've all had them, that do not want to go east of 132nd Street. And those have different set of expectations when they're buying a home.
Yep.
Like we talked about, a house west of 132nd, no one would buy it if it didn't have a main floor bath.
Correct. Yes.
Where here,
Or
it's kind of acceptable. Or, getting a master, the house down the street that just sold for way over what we bought, they only have one bath also, and it sold for $50,000 more.
Yeah.
But one bath still, but
Yeah.
it's still sold.
Yeah.
So-
know your area,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, wherever you buy, number one real estate 101 is location, location,
Yeah.
location.
Exactly.
Know your area, and so I think that's extremely important.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
Like-
It's a beautiful
This is
house,
so
you
cute.
guys.
I
It's
love it.
exciting. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to bring everybody along our journey. And we're going to put it on film that our goal is to have this done in 12 weeks. So we shall see.
I love it.
Yeah. Lauren's getting married June 5th, and we're going to be on the market before her wedding.
Now I heard a rumor that Omahome was doing a video blog of the flip.
Yes,
Is it
we are.
true?
We are. We are.
And how can listeners follow you?
It all starts tomorrow. It'll be on our Facebook page, on our Instagram. We may be getting it up on YouTube after that, so stay tuned on all of our social media. Omahome, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and follow along on our journey there.
Okay, and listeners and those who are following us on YouTube, I know that scares Megan.
Yes.
Our part 2 of the investment real estate market will hopefully air in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We hope you'll join us. We'll have a guest speaker talk about financing for flips and buy and hold, what you need to know to get qualified, what you'll need for a down payment or line of equity. We hope you'll join us. You can follow us on Facebook, on YouTube.
Yep.
Instagram should be up shortly. And as always, we appreciate you following. We are Sell It Sista.
And remember, every day is what you make it, and we're going to make it outstanding.
Cheers.
Cheers.